In 2017, a successful Chinese software entrepreneur met a woman on an online dating platform. He believed he had found his future wife. Just a few months later, he would be dead. Their marriage lasted only 41 days. What followed was a public scandal, years of lawsuits, criminal investigations, and a case that shocked millions of people across China. This is the story of Su Xiangmao and Zai Xinxin. Su Xiangmao was born into a modest family in Fujian Province, China. Like many successful entrepreneurs, he built his future through education and hard work. He graduated from Beijing University of Posts and Telecommunications and later founded a technology company. His most successful product became widely popular online, attracting tens of millions of users. By his late 30s, Su had achieved something many people only dreamed about. He was financially successful, owned valuable property, and had built a thriving business. Yet despite all of his professional achievements, there was one thing missing from his life. He was still unmarried. Friends described him as intelligent, hardworking, and somewhat reserved. In 2017, hoping to find a life partner, he joined Century Jai Aiwan, one of China's largest dating websites. He had no idea that this decision would change his life forever. Around the same time, Su met a woman named Zai Xinxin. Born in 1987, Zai came from an educated family. She earned a master's degree from Beijing Jiaotong University and worked in Beijing after graduation. At first glance, she appeared to have everything many people would admire: education, beauty, and social status. According to later reports, Zai had previously been married before meeting Su. However, when the two first began communicating, Su was captivated by her. Family members later said that Su quickly developed strong feelings for Zai. Their relationship progressed at an astonishing speed. They exchanged messages constantly. They traveled together. They talked about marriage. And within a very short period of time, Su began spending significant amounts of money on the relationship. According to reports later released by his family, he purchased expensive gifts, paid for luxury travel, and even bought property connected to their future together. To Su, these expenditures represented love and commitment. He believed he was investing in a future with the woman he intended to marry. The relationship moved so quickly that many observers later found it difficult to understand. Within only a few months of meeting each other, the couple registered their marriage. But according to later accounts, problems emerged almost immediately. Family members claimed that arguments over money became increasingly frequent. Disagreements escalated. Trust began to erode. The marriage that had started with intense romance soon became strained. Just 41 days after their wedding, the couple agreed to divorce. For most people, a divorce after only 41 days would already be shocking. But what happened next would make the case national news. The divorce settlement reportedly involved extremely large financial transfers. According to documents that later became public, Su agreed to transfer substantial assets and money to Zai. The exact figures reported by different media outlets varied, but the amounts were enormous. Su later told family members that he felt tremendous pressure. He reportedly feared that personal information and business-related matters could be exposed. The details of the allegations would later become one of the central issues in legal proceedings. Meanwhile, Su's business was also experiencing difficulties. The combination of financial pressure, marital collapse, and legal concerns appeared to have placed him under immense stress. Friends and relatives later described him as increasingly desperate. On September 7, 2017, tragedy struck. Su Xiangmao died after jumping from a building in Beijing. Before his death, he left behind a written statement. In that statement, he described his failed marriage, financial losses, and emotional suffering. The document quickly spread online. Public reaction was immediate and intense. Millions of people began discussing the case. Many questioned whether Sue had been manipulated. Others argued that the situation was more complex than it appeared. As public attention grew, pressure mounted for authorities and courts to examine the circumstances more closely. After Sue's death, his family launched a legal battle. They challenged parts of the divorce settlement and sought to recovering assets they believed had been obtained unfairly. The case moved through the Chinese legal system for years. Court proceedings attracted enormous media attention. The public remained deeply divided. Some people viewed Zai as a calculated manipulator who had exploited a vulnerable man. Others argued that legal agreements signed by adults should be respected unless criminal wrongdoing could be proven. As investigators and courts reviewed evidence, the story became one of the most widely discussed legal controversies in modern China. Years after Sue's death, Chinese courts issued rulings related to the financial disputes between the parties. According to court decisions, portions of the disputed assets were ordered to be returned to Sue's family. The legal battle did not end there. Authorities also launched criminals investigations into allegations connected to the case. In 2023, reports emerged that Zai had been taken into custody as part of a criminal investigation. The development reignited public interest. Many people who had followed the story since 2017 watched closely to see what would happen next. The case eventually reached a criminal court. Prosecutors argued that Zai's actions went beyond a simple marital dispute and involved criminal conduct. Her defense challenged those allegations. After reviewing the evidence, the court ultimately issued its verdict. According to publicly reported judgments, Zai Xinchen was convicted and sentenced to a lengthy prison term. The verdict marked the conclusion of a legal saga that had lasted for years. Yet, even after the judgment, public debate continued. Some viewed the outcome as justice finally being served. Others continued to debate the complicated questions surrounding relationships, money, personal responsibility, and the limits of the law. The story of Su Xiangmao and Zai Xinchen. It remains one of the most controversial relationship cases in modern Chinese history. It is a story involving love, wealth, trust, ambition, heartbreak, and tragedy. A successful entrepreneur, searching for companionship, met someone he believed would become his life partner. Instead, the relationship ended in one of the most shocking personal tragedies the country had seen in years. Whether people see the case as a cautionary tale about love, a warning about manipulation, or a complex legal dispute, one thing is certain. More than 8 years later, the story continues to provoke strong emotions and difficult questions. And for many people, the question remains the same. How did a marriage that lasted only 41 days ended with consequences that would echo for years?